Hello viewers, thank you for tuning into my video. My name is Replay, and you know what grinds my gears? Parents that are ignorant to video games. Now let's get the minor part of it out of the way. I've heard that there are some parents out there that think that video games are only for kids, which isn't true. Back in the day, most games were created for kids to play and be family friendly, both appealing to the kid and approved by parents. But as the kids have grown older, the games have evolved to be appealing and different to its consumers that have a consistent appreciation for video games. And now, that being said, games have evolved completely to suit the player that were once 5-year-olds playing Donkey Kong, Kirby, and Mario. And those games still remain with Nintendo. Their big backbone, especially Mario for Nintendo. Those are fun, actual kid-friendly games. But now that the people of the 80s and 90s, or maybe even further back, have grown older, and the media of gaming has evolved to develop to more elaborate and fun and very realistic like, but always that element that it's not real, it's fake, it's a game. And the people who actually are old enough for these other more gory games actually have the mind to know that these are fake. So grown-ups have developed a better mind to play these elaborate graphic and gory games, games that have such a fantastic and beautifully created fictional environment and unrealistic but fun combat systems like Call of Duty. Like, there's no way you're going to be able to do a 360 no-scope with a jetpack that shoots you 50 feet in the air. At least not till another 100+ years or something like that. Who the heck knows? But that is nowhere near realistic, and we know that. But it's what the elements that is in the game is something that parents 100% want their little kid to see, an 8-year-old to see. Blood, splatters, decapitations in games, paying services to a woman. But looking at it, this is just the thing. As adults, we know that games are fake. We grew up playing games. We knew they were fake, they were fun. And we know that these more elegant games are fake. But a young child's mind can't take it, can't absorb this more, where it could be crucial based on whether or not you want your kid to be exposed to blood splatter, topless girls, and stuff like that. So, as a parent, it is important to know what kind of video games you're giving your kids, because if you don't monitor what your kids are playing, you just buy the game for your kid just to get him to shut up, or any game he says what it is. You have no idea what a video game is. You just go for the blue case that looks like what he said it is, Grand Theft Auto 5 or whatever little Timmy wants. But that's kind of an irresponsible thing to do. It's important as a parent purchasing a video game for your kid to look into what kind of content this game is going to show to your child. If you don't want him seeing any of that stuff, then you know not to get it. And the best way to know what kind of content a game is going to produce is by checking the Entertainment Software Rating Board, or the ESRB rating. This can be found on the bottom left corner of the front of the case, or on the bottom right of the corner of the back of the case. And the ESRB rating is specifically designed to inform parents like they would with a movie. It's PG-13, PG, rated R. Rated R meaning there's more prone to the movie having blood splatter, people dying, sexual relations. Same applies for games. It's rated M for mature, E for everyone, that stuff like that. And when you look at the M17 plus or M for mature, and you want to buy this game for your little 8-year-old just because he said he wants it, it looks cool to him. Yeah, it looks cool to him, but what is in it is not cool to have him see, especially if you're a parent that does not want him to see any of that stuff that this game could possibly contain. And with the ESRB rating, you cannot blame the company or anyone other than your own fault for not checking the game to see what would be in it. And heck, you can even look into what the game is about by asking, like, the guy at the checkout at your local GameStop or the electronics department in a Walmart, wherever you're buying it. Ask someone at the counter. They'll either direct you to someone who would know, or they will inform you what this game is, what it's about, to know whether or not that you should get this game, because it contains paying women for services to gain health and then killing them. I've heard this specific situation to say from a YouTube video, and I'll put a link in the description to the video, that this GameStop employee literally informed the parent what the game was like. It was just a couple days after Grand Theft Auto 5 had released. Kid came in and wanted to buy a game. As soon as the employee found out that this 8-year-old was wanting to buy this game that's meant for adults, he had to ask to get the mother to come in and approve of getting this game for her child. Because especially if they know that this game is going to be bought for a little kid that's way under the age meant for this game to be played, they are going to inform you that this type of stuff is in the game, and if you don't approve of that, then don't buy it. But this woman, he said in his story, just kind of, I guess you could say, pardoned what he said. He said stuff like, she just like, yeah, whatever, as he's saying, well, it contains blood and this and that. He's telling her what is in it, and she's just ignoring he says, only till the next day come back and complain that the game is too violent and they shouldn't be selling it to little kids. And he had to explain, he literally told her that that's what the game was about and you shouldn't buy it for your kid. Yet she pardoned everything he said and bought it anyway, only to come back and complain again. You'll hear the full details of the story in the video. But when parents just don't know or don't care, you show your ignorance. When you complain about it over forms of news and media, or even blame the store and its employee for selling the game, it shows your ignorance. Especially in a GameStop. Like I said, if they know you're buying it for a kid, they are going to tell you that the game has this in it, and would probably even recommend to make sure do not buy it for the kid. I know a GameStop employee that he's said he's had some stories where he going to buy a game for a kid, and he properly informed the parents. She actually followed what my buddy had said and had not bought the game because it contained this stuff. She actually had some sense to listen, to know, and find out, while this parent in this video heard it all but just didn't care. She was focused on her own thing, or just wanted to do whatever it takes to get the game, to give to little Timmy and put him in his room and let him enjoy his game, only to find out the next day that everything the employee said was going to happen is happening on her child's screen, and she doesn't like it. Well, at that point, it's your fault. And when I hear reports or hear stories and see stories of parents blaming a company, the developers blaming somebody for this game being violent, I wish I could call them out on it. Because the first thing I'd ask them, did you buy it? And if the answer is yes, which would be likely, then it's their fault because they were ill informed. They just bought it for the sake of making their child happy. They didn't bother to know what the game was like. It is your fault. The ESRB rating is there to counteract you from being able to do things like complain or sue them. You can't sue them when they gave you the specific warning, and even you got more warnings from the employee that this game is not suited for your 8-year-old. It just, that's what shows your ignorance the most. You're informed, yet you don't care, and you complain anyways. You're freaking stupid if you're like that. So, that's what grinds my gears about parents that are ignorant to video games. There are parents out there that actually have the sense, like I said, the one woman that was informed by my buddy that this game is too violent or for the kid she was going to buy it for, and she took the advice. But there are most to all parents that when something seems wrong in a game, they blame the game, they blame developers, and they try to put it on a news media that all games are bad, when that's not true. Games are created for kids, games are created for adults. It's your fault that you bought an adult game for a kid when especially you have been informed. If you haven't been informed by anybody, actually at least know enough about video games to know to look at the ESRB rating and know what's in the game. That's what grinds my gears. Again, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. I hope you enjoyed my ramblings. And until next time, keep calm and game on.